All right, welcome back to the show, guys. I have a good friend of mine on, Rationalwrongthink. He lives in Australia, where right now it's some pretty crazy authoritarian rule going on there. So we decided last minute to get him on. This isn't scripted, and we'll just pick his brain on what's going on over there in Australia. So welcome back, dude. It's been a minute since I've had you on.
Yeah, cheers, mate. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So tell me.
So just for the people who don't know, we've had in Victoria, in Australia, one of the most bungling, incompetent, probably criminally corrupt political regimes that we've ever seen in a modern democracy outside of the previous, Democrat regime of Obama. So what we've got going on at the moment is the government here in Victoria, after hopelessly bungling the quarantining of people who were coming back in from overseas, they decided rather than using people who were qualified for the task, that they would use people who were from non-English speaking backgrounds, non-white people and others, and pay them large sums of money because it's a diversity thing to look after the people who are coming back into hotels and going into quarantine. And what that led to, of course, was a whole group of people who were not qualified at their job, didn't understand what they were doing, who then interacted with and even had sex with some of the people who were locked down in quarantine, sharing cigarettes with them and that kind of thing. Some of those people then got infected. That then got out into the entire state, or mainly in the city, admittedly, hence why I'm wearing the hat, because I'm out in the middle of nowhere, because I'm prepping for bad days, because I think it's going to get pretty bad here. But anyway, so we had a lot of people that got infected because of the bungling, bovine, PC incompetence of this idiot that we have in Victoria. Everybody might as well know that. And what he's done is, rather than accepting accountability for his own bovine incompetence, he's decided that he wants to create a law, which is now passed one of our houses of parliament, where he can deputise anybody that he wants to become an authorised officer. And what they can do is they can arrest and detain someone like me for an indefinite period of time, just because they think that if I got coronavirus, even though I don't have it, but if they think I could get it, that I might spread it to other people. And they can lock me up indefinitely. They can hold me indefinitely.
So hang on a second.
That's where we're at now.
So how does it work over there in Australia land? Is it the governor? Is it the mayor? Is it who is this? Can you name this person? I mean, I could probably look it up. Who is he?
Dan Andrews. So he's the premier of the state. So we have our federal government, and then we have our state government that sort of, like you got Victoria, New South Wales, we're broken down into states. And so we have a state leader, and they are responsible for implementing a large amount of the law that people live under in those respective states.
Okay.
Right, so he has put this law out there, and it has passed the first House of Parliament. So there's only one House of Parliament.
So let me get this straight again. Let me get this straight. So he literally, there's a law he's passed, and it's passed one House of Parliament. It's probably like it's gone through what would be considerable or comparable to our side is we have the House and the Senate. So it's gone through the House. It still needs to go through the Senate before it gets signed into law.
Yep.
Okay, but this law states that he can deputize any Joe Blow he wants to basically be a brown shirt that will go around and say, hey, this person here, if they were to catch COVID, they would spread it around because either they don't believe in the COVID, they're not playing by the rules, they're whatever, for whatever reason they like yellow balloons, and yellow balloons mean that people will spread COVID. So we can arrest this person who doesn't have COVID and who we don't exactly know for sure what they would do, but we think they would do this. We can arrest this person and hold them indefinitely.
Yep. That is the law.
What are we missing? Why isn't this? I don't know why I haven't heard this more clearly spelt out like that. That's insane.
Yeah, it is. I think it's going to lead to, if this passes, and I've got to be careful what I say here because I'm probably a prime candidate for having someone turn up on my doorstep. If that does happen, I will consider that person an existential threat, and it's on. I will not accept living in a Nazi state. Again, that's why I'm out. That's why I'm out in the bush in the middle of nowhere, because of things like this. I saw this crap coming, and it's like, no, this cannot be allowed to go on. So this is not a threat against anybody that is because this law hasn't passed yet. But if this law passes, I will no longer consider my government to be legitimate, and I will do whatever I need to do to protect my freedom. That's where it's at. This is an outrageously offensive thing, and the guy who is currently mishandling the running of this state, he needs to be removed from office.
Wow. That is insane.
I'm being as polite as I can be about this. I try not to swear, but I tell you, dude, I am beyond furious right now.
I can imagine.
This is despicable. What's being done to us? Like, this idiot wants, like, he can get his people, like Labor Party people.
And who's the Labor Party? Would that be liberals over here? Labor Party?
Yeah. That's the they're the mates of the Democrats. They're the kinds of people who go to Epstein's Island. Okay. So he can deputise his own people to come after people who wouldn't vote for him and lock them up under this legislation. Like, even left-wing media here in Australia have said that this is a little bit of overreach. Only a little bit of overreach, mind you, because they know that they're safe.
Well, they've already, for people that were, I've seen on the news, like the pregnant lady who got arrested because she was planning a protest rally that people were going to wear masks, they were going to social distance, but they were going to go out en masse and protest against the masks and the draconian laws that were being pushed down. And so, is that correct? That's what happened, right?
Yep. And a member of the media as well, Avi Yemeni, he also got
Avi Yemeni did?
Yeah, for going to one of the protests. Yeah, he got arrested. So,
I remember seeing one of his posts.
Yeah, again, the insanity of what's going on here. So it was okay for Black Lives Matter to protest, and the reason why our top policeman came out, police officer came out and said the reason why it was okay for Black Lives Matter to be involved in protest was because we'd seen them around the world looting and rioting and burning and engaging in acts of violence, and so we wanted to placate them. But the people like me who actually want to see our country up and running, we say quarantine those who are vulnerable and let everybody else live their lives the way a responsible society would. Mm-hmm. We are not people who are going to engage in acts of violence. We're not going to riot, loot and burn, and we're not going to shoot or attack police because we actually defend and support the police. And so therefore he is going to send his minions in the police force out to engage in acts of violence against us. So they had a group of protesters who went to a market in Melbourne, and the police came in with their riot gear, and I think they had horses as well, and it was just an absolute shit show. But the reason that they're coming after us so hard is because they know that we're not violent. And when I say we, I'm not involved in the protest, but I'm one of the people who opposes these insane lockdowns and opposes this insane law that he wants to get put through. So that's where we're at. And because we don't have free speech, you remember when I used to wear the mask. Well, this is why. Right. So we're getting really, really badly screwed here. And I know, potentially I could get arrested just for saying what I've said here.
Yeah. No,
and it's just reality.
That's so crazy to me. Your voice is still coming through. Okay, it's a little glitchy, but you're still there with us, so it's good. But there's been a lot of people in Australia, and this is mostly in the state of, or the province of Victoria. Is it happening in other parts of Australia, or just in Victoria right now?
Well, it's nowhere near as bad anywhere else, but we have had situations where, for example, there was a young girl from Queensland who wanted to go and see her father who was about to die of cancer, and the Premier, so the person who runs the state, refused to let them in. There was a guy who was about to die of cancer. He had 4 children, I think it was, and the governor of the state said that the children can't come in, and all of the kids are under the age of 13, and they were told, no, look, you can't come in, you can't see your father even though he's about to die of cancer, tough titties, that's life. And there was a bit of an uproar about that, and so they changed their mind, and the Premier of the state said, okay, we'll let one of the children in, pick one of his 4 children under the age of 13, and they can come in and see their father before he dies, but all the others, no, they can lick my balls. That's where we're at in this country. It's infuriating.
Wow. So you actually... Go ahead.
All this over a virus that the average age of people that die from it is 80 in this country. And most of the ones who die, even when they are old, also have what they call comorbidities other than just being old.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the way it is.
We're being played. We're being lied to. We're being shit on by our political class.
Yeah.
And it's there's hate brewing out here where I am, man. No one's buying this bullshit. No one.
But you guys don't have any, other than a few shotguns and hunting rifles, you guys don't have any kind of way to really rise up against it.
No, we don't.
Wow.
No. Now you know why I've been saying for a long time that I love your First and Second Amendment. I didn't think we'd need it this quick. You can read the writing on the wall, and you can see that we were becoming increasingly less free right across the West. But this COVID 1984, as I like to call it, is being used to just take away what little freedom we had left. And it's not a good place to be. I'm just.
So now you say you're living. I don't want you to divulge where, but you are literally living out in the bush. Like right now, are you? Is this your normal house that you normally are at? I mean, that we always in the past have talked at?
No, where I am now, no. I'm actually somewhere that's got a few more people in it. But no, normally I'm living in a place where, there's not sort of 50 people within a 50-mile radius of me. So I'm right out in the bush now.
Are you renting a place out there?
Style, man.
I mean, are you
full crop?
Yeah, but
no.
So right now, though, are you just at a friend's house, or are you just at a how are you broadcasting to us right now?
Yes, I'm at someone's house.
Okay.
Yeah, like at a friend's house. Yeah.
Okay. Are they on board with bugging out too? What's going to be your sign to fully bug out, and go like live in Crocodile Dundee style? If it passes.
Look, I'll talk to you about this offline. I really don't want to talk about it here, because there's quite a few of us that are involved in this thing, and so I'm sort of out, laying the groundwork in case everything does go horrifically sort of pear-shaped. So, I'd rather kind of not discuss
that's
it
fine.
Because
Yeah. No, I get it.
Totally.
What was I going to say on there was a note on that I was going to say, but shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay. No, I get it, man. I get it. That's I know what it was. Is the trigger point going to be if the law passes? That's when you're pulling the pin and going, or is that still something you want to talk about offline?
Yeah. Look, it's really difficult to pinpoint it exactly. Like I'm looking at this from the viewpoint of, when you see the writing that's going on in the UK, you see what's going on in France and Sweden and Germany, and we know that there's that certain peaceful religion that has got armed, militants who are trained that are all through these places in the tens of thousands, and you see what's going on in the US, and you think the chances of war with China is growing. Yeah. There's a chance that this thing turns into a complete shit show, where we end up in a war and a sort of a Western boogaloo. I do think the chances are really high. So when that kind of thing happens, the way that I would be looking at it is, at some point in there, some of the people that I'm kind of linked to are going to say, all right, we need to get out. We need to, work out our options on where we go from here, and then we go to the bug out place, and then we work from there. We just sort of see what happens from there. So that's basically the plan.
Are you guys, like modus operandi said here, throw a spider at them? Are you guys storing up a bunch of funnel web spiders and whatnot right now?
Yeah, mate. Yep.
With funnel web spider bombs and whatnot to throw at them, glass jars that explode when they. I mean, you have no shortage of animals that can kill you, so you set up all kind of boogie traps out there. Or booby traps.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing the old. It was a Dr. Dolittle that used to talk to animals. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm out there. I'm spider whispering and snake whispering. I'm bringing them all in and saying, when they come for us, you're the first line of defense.
Jeez.
We feed them, we look after them.
Oh man, dude, that is some craziness right there. Okay, here. Let me take another 60-second timeout. Some of you guys already saw this one, so you guys can go to the bathroom. We take 60 seconds. We're going to come back and go over a couple different articles with Rat, and these are just articles that I had. We'll go over one or two of them. So we'll be back in 60 seconds. Hold tight. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I want to make sure I can get the next segment. Late at night, it's a faking crime by justice wars. Imagine an audio collection of parody songs designed to trigger the safe place snowflakes of the most easily offended among us. Experience one of the best collections in conservative parody troll musical meanage. Direct from SJG Perspective Productions comes the Patriot Parody Troll Leftist Aneurysm-Inducing Collection. The title really rolls off the tongue. Ice, ice, baby. Or ponder the truth of media lies with Tell Me Lies. You might need to take a shower after listening to Super Creep. No other collection will bring joy and tears of laughter to the ears of the conservatives, while simultaneously bringing tears of frustration and anger to the SJWs and the leftists among us. To receive your collection, like, share, and subscribe to SJG Perspective and receive access to this content and much, much more. Don't wait. It could disappear at any moment.